170 million people die every year around the world. We know that there are much more, but those which records from the millennial, out of the United Nations, the millennial project, are able to estimate approximately 62 to 70 million people die every year, and those deaths are replaced by 124 million live births. So almost for every one person that leaves us, 2 replace them. And so the planet is growing at approximately 62 to 70 million every year. But we're only reaching 1.1 million, as I've showed you the number of baptisms. So we have a challenge. What about the other 98%? How are we going to reach there? And we're only convinced that the Lord is going to finish the work. Only the Lord's going to finish the work. He's going to use us. But it's going to be the Lord, because no one of us or any group of us, not even the entire General Conference building or the workforce, could reach the gospel to the world with all the challenges without the work of the Lord. But things are happening, and the Lord is bringing His people here in China. And I'm just going to get through these quickly. Haiti, Puerto Rico, Russia, in Vietnam, the Philippines. Anyone here from the Philippines? Familiar territory. I used to travel up. I used to be the treasurer for the Sri Lanka mission for about 3.5 years. Our headquarters was in Cavite in the Philippines, and we used to travel up there twice a year for meetings. And I really loved the pineapples and yes, Australia, Ecuador, all around the world, Chile, India. This is a recent, just a matter of a few months ago, this young lady is the sister of one of the workers in the General Conference building, and she was converted from Hinduism and moved to the United States. Amen. And her sister, but she had a burden for her sister and the rest of her family members. So a group the group of young people from the General Conference, maybe about 50 or so, took part of their vacation to travel to her village and ran a series of meetings in her village to reach her family and her community. And the first to be baptized was the sister. She was so having such a burden for her. That's her there being baptized there in India, in the southern part of India, Tamil Nadu. And this is Pakistan. I was with this gentleman just when we met, Pastor Ali, up in New York. I got to see him again. Pakistan. He was brought to the United States in the emergency because of his work in converting Muslims. There was a contract out on his life, and we had to get him out of Pakistan and into the United States. But his burden, his passion, and I mean, they will kill you quick over there without any question if you convert baptized Muslims. But his passion is looking for ways to get back, because there are interests that he wants to follow up on. He says, "Don't worry about my life, just send me back. I've got people there that are ready to be baptized, that has been working." And so this is in England. Indonesia, the world's largest Muslim population is in Indonesia. But you see all around the world, Swaziland. This is in South Africa. I was just there back in December, early part of December. Romania. I'll be doing some meetings in Romania this June. And here's a young man here. Now, he was a Sunday pastor, but as you know, in many of these denominations, they don't have the type of support like the Adventist church has, so many of them have to hold second jobs, and they just work on Sunday. So pastoring in many of these Sunday churches is a part-time job. Then they go out and do other work. So he came to our Adventist college to study agriculture, and while during a week of prayer, he became more familiar with the gospel, became an Adventist, gave up agriculture, and went back to his village, and now is baptizing his former members.
Amen.
You can see him there in Burkina Faso, baptized in Chad. Swaziland, all you need is a good rainfall. The water is scarce. If they have a good rainfall, they call for baptism. That's what all these people are waiting, and there they are eating swamp. Now, the water is dirty even before they wash the seals into that water. See, how they can find water? Let's have a baptism. So some things are ready. This is in Djibouti, in the Red Sea. This is taken in China. Look. Yeah, now let me find out. Do you know what she's being baptized in? You tell me what she's being baptized in. She's being baptized in a coffin, a casket, a coffin.
Very.
Yeah, she's being baptized in a coffin. And I'll tell you why. In many of the provinces of China, religion is very restricted. And you cannot just worship freely as you wish. And so they have to meet in house churches, and they have to meet in secret. And they would gather, and they will come, and whenever the authorities suspect that there is a religious service, they will raid that house. But when they see a coffin, a casket laying in the front, they back away. Oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry, because they have a lot of respect for the dead. And that's one reason, is that it helps to cover what they're doing. And the second reason is that it is portable. In other words, they can move it from place to place, because they cannot worship in the same location without drawing attention. So they have to move around, and it's very important. They put plastic inside, and there's some spiritual significance to that also, because they're being buried, the seals are being buried, and they're rising up into newness of life. And so all around the world, God is calling His people together. And this is my brother-in-law in my country, also a pastor. They're baptizing. Now, I want to share with you very quickly. We're going to shift. Now, I gave you a message. I'm going to still touch on it. Maybe not do as much as give a summary of my sermon, because I haven't started my sermon yet. But this is missions, and missions is my passion. Let me just say before I get to Djibouti. I first served as a missionary in Malawi, Southeast Africa. Just graduated from Oakwood College, now Oakwood University, and I was asked to go there to work as an accountant there, because there was a missionary who had taken sick. I was single. I went to Malawi. There, it took me 2 or 3 days to get there, and this was back in the early 80s. And while there, I played soccer with the village team. I led out a choir. I started Pathfinders, and I had a nice group. And all of the villagers just flocked around me, because I was the first black missionary they had seen. So here's somebody that looked like them. And that was one. And then they all started coming. But I was also courting the girls. I was single. I was also courting the girls while I was there. So the missionary said, look, you're doing so good. We've never had so much success from a missionary to come. Go home, get married, and come back and do 6 years for us. Now, it was good advice, because the women only lived to be 44 years of age. 44 was the life expectancy of women in Malawi. A woman at 44 looked like a woman at 80. Life was so hard and difficult for them. They did all the hard work. And coming from the West, I used to carry my bags, and the folk used to laugh at me, because that's the woman's job to carry things. You know, men, so they thought I was like a sissy. I was girlish, because I would be doing all the carrying and lifting and other things. It was a different life. But you get used to it. It's not a bad idea. But after that, so I came home, and another, let me just open up and share. I'll cut my sermon short. Now, I came from Oakwood College, a vegetarian, strong and healthy. And when I got to Malawi, all the women were topless. So you had to take you a moment, took me a while to get used to that. Now, a woman was modest if she was topless, but if she was covered from her ankles down here. So I went there, and after a while you get used to it. And then when I came back to the United States, women were covered up here, but this was all exposed. Reverse culture shock. So that first got my interest in mission service. I remained in Bermuda for about 12 years, and I worked as treasurer, secretary-treasurer of the Bermuda Conference, and then I got a call to go to Sri Lanka as a mission treasurer to Sri Lanka, a little island nation just below India, and from there I got a call to go to the Middle East. And if I have time, I would share with you the experiences of what the Lord is doing in the Middle East. Amazing. So much is happening in the Middle East. The church cannot report it because it would stir up opposition. But the Holy Spirit is doing tremendous work in the Middle East. Saddam Hussein's wife used to attend our Adventist church in Baghdad. She was a regular attendee of our church there. Saddam Hussein was very good to Adventists. He personally made sure that Adventist children did not have to take the national secondary school exams on Saturdays and other things. He had a good side, but he also had a bad side. The Lord had to remove him, and the reason for this is that he would not allow any satellite dishes. He didn't want any cable or satellite TV coming into his country. He didn't want no Western propaganda coming in. After he was removed, almost every housetop has a satellite dish there. And what the church did, it took the pastor of the Baghdad church, Johnny Hajjaz, took him to Cologne, France, taught him media. His wife was a dentist, taught him media, and he became the Arabic speaker for Adventist broadcast, which they beamed into a footprint which covered Iraq. And the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, now that satellite dishes were available, did a survey through Kabul, Baghdad, maybe the major cities, to find out now, after a few years, to find out what do these people like to listen to, what attracts them. And it was the BBC who informed the Adventist Church that among Arab men, the most watched and the most preferred program was our Adventist program. They loved the family life, the health, and those types of things. And so now the Three Angels messages is getting into Iraq, where before it was not possible. So you can see the Lord is breaking down barriers, just as what happened in the Soviet bloc, there in the Soviet Union when the Berlin Wall fell and communism opened up. Now we're seeing a dismantling of the barriers reaching Islam. Even the current challenges that are taking place, the Iraq War, I mean, it was I wish I had time that I could share with you. Now, you know, George Bush, Cheney, they had their agenda, but the Lord also had a greater agenda. And if time allowed, I would share with you what the Lord is doing and has been able to do as a result of that breaking up of that strong camaraderie between those Islamic countries, breaking it up, weakening it, so that the Advent message can penetrate. Evidence that the Lord is coming soon. Now let's go to Djibouti. After I left Sri Lanka, we got a call to go to the Middle East, and then from the Middle East, was there 4 years to the day, got a call to go to Ethiopia as a union treasurer. And there we covered two countries, Ethiopia and Djibouti. Now, Djibouti is a little island country just on the Strait of Aden, on the Horn of Africa. Here, let's see, over here is Yemen. Over here is Eritrea. This is Ethiopia. Coming down here is Somalia. And so it's in a very troubled region here. The largest U.S. permanent base on the continent of Africa. The only permanent base on the continent of Africa is located here in Djibouti. And they protect the oil coming from Saudi Arabia, coming out through the coming down through the Gulf and into the Indian Ocean. And they're to bring oil to the west. So you got that naval base. The French also have a base there, and recently I think the Chinese got up one of their first bases also, because they're relying on oil coming out of the Middle East. And the city, the capital city, is named after the country, Djibouti. So the capital is the city of Djibouti, located in the Republic of Djibouti. And there, the Adventist Church in the early 1990s decided to use some of your Sabbath School investment offering that was lifted here in North America to do something for this country. The country only had a population of about 700,000. Small, is a strict Islamic country, but the church thought that this might be an opportunity to make an impact on this little country. So we opened up, the church back in the early 90s opened up a clinic. And when I arrived, they had kind of run out of money, and it was not finished, still under construction. And Djibouti has the hottest climate on earth. Now people think Saudi Arabia or the Sahara Desert. No, it is Djibouti. Very, very hot. Very common for the temperature to be up around 120 degrees, 140. When the temperature drops to 90 degrees, people grab for blankets and stuff. They're so conditioned to the heat. Everything closes down about 11, and it doesn't reopen until 4 in the afternoon because it's so hot there. And it's because of the rocks, the bare rocks, it just radiates heat. And so we have these massive air conditioning units and others. And on this side we had an eye clinic, we had a dental clinic, and this side we had a medical clinic. So we were able to get the place completed, and this is our receptionist. There were no Adventists in the country, so this is the receptionist, this was the bookkeeper, and this is Malinga. He was our eye surgeon. Now, our Sabbath School lesson today dealt with healing. Malinga has the gift of healing. Now, we heard people have various different gifts. Now, Malinga is the #1 eye surgeon in the entire country. Whenever there are any major cases, the National Hospital refers all major eye problems to our clinic. And Malinga is the eye surgeon. He does complex eyelid surgeries. I mean, he can do, there's nothing dealing with the eye he's not able to handle. But he only has as much as a 2-year nursing degree. No more than that. And not the sophisticated equipment. So doctors come from India, they come from the United States and Europe, and they come there to our clinic and marvel at what this young man is able to do. Now, I was the business manager, so I would often go and do the financial statements and other things. And one day I decided I would scrub, cap and gone, and go in and see Malinga work. Now, a patient would come in totally blind. He would lay his hand on them, pray over that eye. He would get out his scaffold, his little knife, and poke around the eye and do what he needs to do. And then he would put a patch on the eye, send them home, and the folk who were not able to see for 2 years, totally blind, even longer, come back rejoicing with their friends, rejoicing because now they could see. And amazing, definitely the gift of healing. Now, this is some in the waiting room. That's the patient. Her 2 boys, I guess they had cataracts in these eyes, waiting for me to work on them. This was one young man with a very severe eye case, waiting for treatment. And you just see him, he has never lost a case. Now, Malinga is twice orphaned. His mother died when he was 9. His father died when he was 14. He was raised by his brothers. His brothers brought him up. He always felt that the Lord had something for him to do in life, but was never sure. But then he realized that the Lord has kept him alive and brought him into existence to to bring sight to people, one person.